Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back. We've missed you. I hope that you had a great week. We have lots to talk about today. I can't wait to share our story with you. But before we do, let's join Jana and friends and let's worship God. We'll be right back. Welcome back, friends. I love that song. It's so fun to sing with Jana. This is my special part of our time together. It's our story time. And do you remember where we get our stories? That's right, from the Bible. Whose words are in the Bible? You remember, don't you? Yes, God's words are in the Bible. This is God's love letter to us, friends. It tells us who God is, what God does, and all about His Son, Jesus. God's Bible book is for you. You can trust that it's right and true. Boys and girls, we can believe what God tells us because everything in His Word is true. Well, I have a question for you before we get started with our story. Do you ever take naps? How many of you out there take naps? Oh, a few of you. Well, I can tell you, even though I'm a grown-up, I love to take naps. I always feel so much better when I've had a rest. Well, our story today is about a nap that Jesus took. That's right, Jesus took a nap. Let's look at the scriptures and see what happened on this day. The Bible tells us that Jesus and His disciples were down at the shore of Galilee, the Sea of Galilee, and Jesus was teaching crowds of people, lots and lots of people, about the good news, about God's kingdom, about his love. And not only was he teaching, but Jesus was healing people that were sick. All these friends and family were bringing their sick friends to Jesus, and he was making them well again. Hour after hour after hour, Jesus taught, and he healed people. And it was starting to get very late. It was getting almost dinner time, and Jesus was so tired. And so he stepped into a boat that was right on the shore of the lake, and he signaled to his disciples, and he said, "Come, it's time for us to leave. Let's go to the other side of the lake where it's quiet." Jesus needed to rest. And so the disciples climbed into the boat with Jesus, and they left all the crowds of people on the shore as they headed out across the lake. Now, as the disciples were chattering and talking about all the neat things that had happened through the day, Jesus went to the back of the boat, and he laid down on a cushion, and he fell asleep. Jesus took a nap. It was a perfect day for it. The sun was just starting to set. There was a warm breeze. It was beautiful as they started out to go across the lake. They were only halfway across the lake when that gentle breeze that had been blowing became out of nowhere strong and fierce like a hurricane, and it was sweeping across the lake. The wind was so loud and howling as it swept across the water, and it made the water into waves that were towering over that little boat. The thunder was overhead so loud it was like a roar, and the lightning was flashing. Dark clouds were everywhere. It was so frightening. The boat seemed so little as all of the storm was raging around it. It was so small, it was getting tossed back and forth and up and down and around and around. It was swirling. And all this time that the storm was raging out of control, Jesus was taking a nap. He was still sleeping. Now the disciples, they had been fishermen all of their lives. And so they tried with all their might to steer the boat, to hold on to the ropes that took care of the sails so that they wouldn't get torn. But no matter how hard they tried, the storm was way too strong for them, and they couldn't get control of the boat. They became terrified. They'd never seen a storm like this one. This one could sink their boat, and they could drown. It was way too big for them. But boys and girls, it wasn't too big for Jesus. The Bible tells us that the disciples screamed out to Jesus, "Help! Jesus, wake up! Don't you want to save us, Lord? Don't you care that we're going to die?" Of course he cared. Jesus stood up in the boat, and he turned toward the waves and the wind, and he said, "Quiet, stop." It was amazing. Just like that, at the sound of Jesus' voice, the waves became calm, and the wind was just a breeze again. It was calm and quiet. Jesus then turned to the disciples, and he said, "Why were you afraid? Do you still not believe? Do you still not have faith?" The disciples backed up, and they were in awe. They were a little bit afraid, and they turned to each other, and anxiously they were going, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." The disciples, even though they had watched Jesus all day long talking to people about the kingdom and healing those people that were sick, they still did not understand. They still didn't get that Jesus was the Son of God. But he showed them, with the quieting of that storm, he showed them that he has the power to calm the waves, and he has the power to calm the wind, and he has the power over all creation. He showed them that he is the Son of God. Isn't that a great story? Boys and girls, I have some questions for you, so put on your thinking caps. Are you ready? Got them on? All right, here we go. What did Jesus do when they set out to go to the other side of the lake? Do you remember what he did when the disciples were chattering and talking? That's right. He went and took a nap, didn't he? He was so tired. He needed to rest. And so he took a nap. All right, question number 2. How did Jesus show the disciples that he has power over all things? Do you remember what he did? That's right. He spoke and said, "Quiet," to the wind and the waves. And what did they do? That's right. They stopped. Everything was calm again. All right, one more. This one might be a little tougher. What did Jesus want the disciples to believe? Do you remember? Do you remember what they forgot? Who is Jesus? That's right. He's the Son of God. You got it. Good job, my friends. Good listening ears. I have some things I want to share with you that you can share with your family and friends so that you can tell the story again. So we have a picture of the little boat that was tossed around in the storm with the disciples and Jesus. Do you see Jesus telling the storm to stop and to be quiet? So you can color that, and there, you can even decorate it with some special things if you would like to do that. Mom and Dad can help you with that. And then we have another picture for you to do. This one you can color. This is a picture of the storm, but when it's all folded, Mom and Dad can help you with this. You'll see that it shows a storm, but it also shows when it's calm after Jesus tells it to stop. All right, you can do that. Mom and Dad can help you cut it out, color it, and fold it. So have fun with that. And I have one more special thing I want to share with you. Next week is going to be Wacky Dress Up Week. So we'll be sending this to Mom and Dad in an email. And so you can dress up in your wacky clothes, whatever you want to dress up in, and we'll come dressed in wacky clothes too. All right? All right, friends, can't wait to see you next week. Have fun. Bye-bye.